Yo, people, Wagwan. What's going on? I hope everyone's good, everyone's well. I'm going to start things off by saying thank you because, we have to give our gratitude. Yeah, so big up everyone that's liked, shared, subscribed, commented. Keep doing it, keep running it up because we're here to stay, as I've said before. We're locked in and we ain't going nowhere. Um, so, today's a match preview. West Ham versus Arsenal. I'll give my respects to West Ham being the home team, so it's only right that I mention them first. And we're going to cover all the news, go over the press conference, talk about any updates that we've got or don't have, and do our lineups, our predicted lineup, and give our score prediction. So bear with me, and we'll get into it, man. Let me just share my screen really quick. Cool. So we're going to get the boring bit out of the way first. I'm not going to elaborate. I'm not going to go into all of it because really a lot of it is just, it's nothing mentions, nothing comments. So just bear with me. But we're going to talk about Arteta's press conference first of all. Do I play it? Nah. I'm just going to read through it really quick. There's no real updates, to be honest. As I expected as well. There's been nothing on Timber, nothing on Marino, and as far as I'm aware, everybody's fit outside of them two. So, yeah, we'll just quickly skim through this and get this out of the way as quickly as possible, and then we'll get into the game. They've asked Mikel if there's any fresh injury concerns, and he says no. Everybody finished the game well and nothing to add. So they asked him on Marino and Timber, and he said there's no chance for them this weekend. So we know that they're not going to be available, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is at this point. Nothing we can do. They're just not fit and not ready. On if we'll see them before the end of the season, I don't know. There's still a fair bit to do. So everything has to be so smooth and quick if they want to have a chance to play any minutes. Bit of a disappointment, to be honest, because initially I didn't think Timber would be out for as long as he has been. And it seems like there's no real return date for him. I did see a lot of rumours floating around initially saying that they were aiming for him to be fit by the Burnley game. So hopefully he is. And we have seen some little tiny snippets to implicate and indicate that he may be getting there. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Anyway, on facing PSG in the Champions League final, I mean, is there any point in me mentioning this? We know we've got PSG. He knows it's a tough game. No point. We're talking about West Ham today, so we'll keep it moving. On how powerful our unity can be for the final 4 games of the season, is crucial, immense, and needed because what they can provide when we get when we get into the stadium. Sorry, when we get the stadium into that emotional state, to that level of connection with the players, it's just incredible. The players described it. They are the most important ones, and they described it like they never had that feeling before in the stadium, and they make them better. So they're obviously impressed by the fans. The last couple of games, we've done all we can really to get behind the team and push them over the line, being that 12th man. Hopefully we can do the same again and get them across the line this weekend, man. Although obviously we'll be away from home this time, the away fans are pretty good at doing so. So I've got every faith in them to get it done. On people who criticised how we celebrated after beating Atletico, I'm going to talk on this really quick because it's a bit of a bizarre situation that we find ourselves in. First of all, I didn't know about it, but I don't know. I think you have to respect every opinion and place them where they belong. On where he places those opinions, where they belong, I don't know. That's not important. He does know, and where we place those opinions is in the bin. And you know why? Because when it comes to Arsenal, everyone has got something to say. There's so much rubbish flying around about how we celebrate and over celebrate and all the fireworks and blah 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 blah. First of all, this is our first Champions League final in 22 years, so we have every right to celebrate getting to the final. Of course, we haven't won it yet, and we still have to get over the line. But just to reach the final alone is an achievement in itself, especially for this club who've been fighting for some time now. So I don't want to hear all this rubbish about over celebrating. And furthermore, let me just show you guys something really quick. Yeah, because Hand of Arsenal retweeted this. This person, whoever this is, Callum Robinson, has tweeted, "Nah, I don't usually tweet, but it's bugging me. How come Arsenal celebrated last night like they won it? I'm actually so confused. They got to the final. Am I going mad? Let me know." You're going mad, Callum, mate. And I'm going to show you why you're going mad. Yeah? Because Hand of Arsenal's retweeted it. And he said, where is it? Oh, why have we lost what he said? Bear with me a second. All right, cool. There we go. Okay, sure, Callum. So PSG must be a small club celebrating their semi-final win in the UCL with fireworks last year. And as you can see in this video, PSG are doing exactly what we did. Furthermore, if I click back on Callum's tweet, further down, if we watch this video, this is of last year when they reached the final, when they beat us in the semi-final. I'm pretty sure they're doing the same shit that we was doing. Over celebrating, but no one will say anything. And I haven't got any evidence of this, but I have seen it. I just can't bother to look because I don't want to drag this out. But Aston Villa, they reached the final in their Europa League competition, and guess what? They did the same thing. And nobody said anything. If anything, people actually praised them. Yeah. So why they feel the need to get onto Arsenal all the time, I don't know. Maybe it's for the clicks. Maybe it's because they know we've got the biggest online fan base. Maybe it's because they know they're going to profit from it. And that's why they do it. But it's pathetic and it needs to stop. At some point, it needs to stop. And the best way for it to stop for me is for us to do our job. Get over the line in the league, win the Champions League, and everyone can do one. Simple as. Simple as. Anyway, we're not going to drag that out. So we're going to move on from that. And we're going to get back to this press conference. So sorry for the little tangent there. Only if the noise makes us stronger. Well, we know the noise makes them stronger because they've said it enough times. So we won't really get into that. Only if he's had to refocus the players ahead of Sunday. We talked immediately after the game. And this is great. What a moment. We earned it. We'll have time to prepare and get ready for the final. But now the focus, the attention, the detail, the energy, everything has to be put into West Ham. There is nothing else there, and we made it very clear. That's very good because straight after that game, everyone's sights should have been on West Ham. The focus straight onto West Ham. Forget anything else. And quite frankly, at this point in the season, all other games that we've played, like match week, all the match weeks we've played up to now, all the Champions League games we played up to now, all the competitions we've been a part of up to now, none of it matters anymore. What matters is West Ham first, and then the games that come thereafter. So it's been a steady season. It's been a good season in terms of where we are, but it hasn't been a good season in terms of how we've played at times. Anyway, it's been a bit boring. It's been a bit of a drag, and it doesn't really matter as long as we secure that Premier League trophy and potentially that Champions League trophy also. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that bit. On his feeling and messaging the players and supporters. And yeah, cool. He talks a bit about Skelly going into midfield, and he's basically just saying like he earned it. He's had to fight, and he's now reaping the rewards of that patience and getting that opportunity. So big up to Skelly because yeah, as Arsenal fans, I think most of us have felt like he should be playing more. Last season, he broke into the team and he was a star all the way through when he came in. And we've always known he was capable of playing in midfield, but we just needed to see it. Now that we've seen it, everyone's convinced that he needs to continue playing there. And we'll talk about that in our lineups. And how enjoyable it's been to work with Saka. I'll go over it. Ajoy, I feel extremely lucky. I said it from the beginning to find somebody at the club that you can lean into at any level, knowing that he's going to respond, knowing that his heart is in the right place, knowing that everything that he does comes from certain values, certain education, certain principles. It's been a joy. On the human level, I think we know him. And on the football level, what he has provided to this club and what he did the other night is just remarkable. Yeah, big up to Bukayo because he really is our star boy. And he's not so much a boy now, he's more of a man. So maybe it's the star man now, but he's the star of this team. He's the face of this team. He's one of the only decisive players in this team. So big up to him for being the difference in the times where it's needed. He hasn't really had a good season, if I'm honest, but a lot of it come down to his injuries that he suffered. But all that will be forgotten if he can just see out this season and have a huge impact in the games that's to come, and then lift us those trophies, man. So big up to Bukayo. Keep doing your thing, man. On this weekend's London derby having a big jeopardy for both sides. Understanding the context of the game for both clubs is huge, obviously. We know the importance of it, we know what we want and what we have to do to win the game. We do know, and we should know. There is a lot of jeopardy because you got one team fighting at the top trying to secure a Premier League title first in 22 years, and then you've got another team at the bottom trying to survive relegation. It's obviously our London compatriots, if you want to call them that. I'm not sure. Not really that much of a friendship between these two clubs, especially now that Declan Rice is at Arsenal. But and to be honest, if I'm being dead honest, I don't actually want to see West Ham go down. I think it would be a bit of a shame. I know who I want to see go down, and that's Tottenham. But obviously, West Ham are in the way right now, and we can't have no sympathy for them. We got to think about ourselves and secure those 3 points. So if we do win, apologies, West Ham, because we do want to see you stay here. But at the same time, thank you very much because we need these dubs. I'm not going to keep going on the final and all that stuff, and only if we can allow time to enjoy this stage of the season. Only if we can allow time to enjoy this stage of the season. He says he enjoys every day and every moment. So that's just a short and simple answer to that. On if the next few weeks are the biggest in his career, yes, but that's if. And if football doesn't work, we have to do it. What we're going to do today, what we've done today, that's a fact. That's the most important thing. And tomorrow we're going to have to do what it takes to be in the best mood physically and mentally to get ready for the battle that we have on Sunday. Yeah. So he probably knows these are going to be his biggest weeks in his career, because there's a lot at stake here, and things change dramatically for the club, for the fans, for the players, for himself if we get over the line in both or either of these competitions. So yeah, definitely knows he's just gonna keep it kind of, you know how he is. He's a bit coy when he answers certain things. On Rice growing into a man here after signing from West Ham, yes, he was already really well developed, I would say. He's been outstanding for us. He's one of our leaders, one of the main players without a doubt. What he's doing for the club, for the team, is just very powerful. Now, Dec for me is the heartbeat of this team. Saka's the face of this team, don't get me wrong. He's the star man, and we've got a lot of other players that are extremely important, but Declan Rice is the heartbeat of this team. If we have no Declan Rice, we're nowhere near this level, and we're nowhere near securing a potential Premier League and Champions League trophy. So big up to Dec because he is the heartbeat. He is the main man, and he's very important. Is there anything else that's worth me mentioning? From realizing it was laid out. I'm being 4 games from realizing what was laid out 6 years ago. At the moment, it doesn't matter. Let's live in the present. And when we have time, we can talk about that. If we got the timings right, every decision right, but the most important thing is what the outcome is when it comes to the end of May. I mean, I like that answer. He's not going to elaborate too much, is he? So, yeah, keep it short and sweet. And we'll discuss things once we've got the job done. No point talking before the job's done. So, yeah, good. On how important it is to have key players available now. Very important. It was to witness the quality that we had on the bench the other night. If you compare that to a year ago, that's a very different picture. We have managed in the last week or so as well to have some more players fresher, and you could sense that as well. And as I said from the beginning, that's the most important thing. If we have that, we have a bigger chance to achieve the goals. Yeah, 100%. He's spot on there because we need everybody available. In the past seasons, there's always been 1 or 2 key players that have been out of the game, out of the season, missing for some time, which has hindered us a lot. I'll go back to the first year that we competed. We lost Saliba, and that was a massive, massive miss. We had to bring in Rob Holding, and yeah, shit just hit the fan to say the least. And then obviously we've lost Saka, we've lost Odegaard over these seasons. We've lost plenty of players, man, plenty of players, and even this season we've actually had a lot of injuries to key players as well. I recall Gabriel being out. I recall Saliba being out. I recall Saka being out. Odegaard being out. Um, Many players, Havertz being out, loads of players, man. Timber, even Hincapié at a stage as well, and Calafiori at a stage. So yeah, we've done quite well to navigate these injuries this season. A lot of it probably comes down to the depth of the squad this time around, which we didn't have last year. And yeah, so big up to the squad. I've even read that we were second, I think, in terms of the highest amount of injuries across the season, with Tottenham being first. And that's quite contrasting because, as you can see, Spurs are at the bottom fighting for relegation, and we're at the top still potentially winning a league. So yeah, well done to the team, well done to the club for making sure that we were strong enough to go into this season and for continuing through the season without letting the injuries affect us too much. Um, and if every game now is an audition for the final, I don't think they think like this because they know the audition is every single day in training, and what they are doing and giving us the headache like they have been giving us all season, but especially the last few weeks as well. For me, they're asking too much questions about the final. The final is what's the date today? The final's like 21 days away. No one cares about the final right now. Obviously, we do, but that's not our focus. Our focus is the next game and the next game and the next game. So forget about the final. Focus on West Ham. And clearly, in this press conference, they ain't really done that. Everything seems to be about this final, which we care about, just not yet. So yeah, that's that. On if Timber's injury has been more complicated than expected, yes, and that's probably been the most difficult thing to manage with the player, with myself as well, because we didn't expect it to take so long. And at the moment, he's not fit to play. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, man, because it's been like 8 or 9 weeks now since we lost him, and I don't think anyone expected it to be that long. So a bit of a shame. But I have seen something. Let me just have a look here if I've got it up here. Yeah, so now Arsenal tweeted this the other day. During Timber continues to put in the work as his return from injury gets closer, and you can see him. Looks like he's in the gym. So my guess is that he's getting that bit stronger and he's working his way back, and hopefully we'll see him before the end of the season. But again, there's no real timeline, so we'll find out when we find out, I guess, innit? But that's a positive. The other thing is, Mikel Marino's back in training. It looks like he's solo training for now. We'll just take a look at these pictures, and he's put here trust in the process as his song on Instagram on his post. But you can see that he's back in the gym and he's back out on the grass as well, which is good, which is really good. So that's a positive. So hopefully we'll have him back soon as well, because we're gonna need everybody at the end of the day just to have as much options as possible to get over the line in these next 3 or 4 games. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything in the presser. Yeah. So that's that. So we'll move on from that. As I said, there's not really too much news. We know that Marino and Timber are out, and everybody else is fit and raring to go. So we look forward to the team and to the boys performing against West Ham tomorrow. Other little bits I want to get into really quickly before we go into the predicted lineup. So now Arsenal tweeted this earlier. If Manchester City drops points today and Arsenal beat West Ham tomorrow, Mikel Arteta's side will be able to lift the Premier League trophy at the Emirates Stadium on Monday night against Burnley. So obviously, we don't know what the outcome's going to be of the City game against Brentford, but if there is to be any points dropped for City, that's massive for us, as long as we beat West Ham. Obviously, we still got to do that, and that's our focus. But we just look into these things here and there just to, stay in tune and see what can happen. And if we do beat West Ham and Man City do drop points today, that'll be decent, because then we can lift that trophy in front of our fans and everybody will be there. So yeah, man, hopefully they can do that. And I also saw, let me see if I got rid of it. Yeah, I saw this tweet the other day as well, so I thought I'd just highlight this as well, because if Aston Villa finish fifth and win the Europa League, Brentford could potentially finish sixth and secure Champions League football. and that would be life changing for the club, for the players, for the manager, for everyone involved in Brentford. So if they can if they can secure sixth place and beating City or taking a draw at least from City will help them on their way to that, then things can change for that club. So they'll have every bit of momentum going into this game later on. So yeah, we'll see, man. Hopefully Brentford can take that into the game and fight for everything and upset City today, because I don't mind favors. I don't mind favors. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. But that's pretty much everything that I've covered now in terms of any news or anything like that. So we'll get off this and get back to it. So the game, I'm excited for the game. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a bit, how can I put it? Because in recent games, West Ham haven't been that normal defensive side that they've been under Nuno. Their defense has been a little bit weaker, and mainly because they've been focusing on their attack a bit more and trying to actually win games. And with all that being said, they've actually had decent form since December or so, which has led to them being like in the top, I think I want to say like the top 5 or top 7 in terms of the form table from December. So yeah, they've obviously been doing quite well, but they were doing so bad beforehand that they were just playing catch up the whole time. I think there was something like 14 points maybe behind. So I think I can't remember who it was. It must have been Spurs, because they seem to have been down there for ages. So it's one of them clubs anyway at the bottom. But they were roughly about 14 points behind, and they were in the relegation zone, which they managed to get out of. And they now find themselves back in there, 1 point behind Tottenham, because Tottenham have found a bit of form. So yeah, they've dropped off a little bit in the last few games, and especially that Brentford loss, that would have hurt them big time. But they don't seem to be doing too bad. I just hope that tomorrow night they're terrible. That's what I want, really and truly. Because if they're terrible, that means we'll win the game. And at the end of the day, as long as we turn up, I'm still confident that we can beat West Ham. But it is a bit of a banana skin because they're obviously in that situation. Oh, apologies. But yeah, because they're in that situation and they're fighting, we don't really want to come up against them at this time, but it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure that the boys will be able to do the job. So yeah, what do I expect? I mean, their threats are what, Jared Bowen and Somerville, Mateus Fernandez, maybe that Tati. What's his name again? Costellanos, or something like that. I can't remember his name. Forgive me. But yeah, their striker, he's decent as well, to be fair. And also Mavropanos. Mavropanos has been a threat in boxes, in the opposition boxes, in like the most recent games. He's been scoring a couple headers, so we've got to watch out for him. But they're threats, in my opinion. They're threats, of course, but they're not too big a threat for us. Our strongest point is our defense, and we've kind of held a lot of teams off, conceding minimal goals across the whole season, and in the Champions League as well. So I'm not too fearing of them, to be fair. We'll see what they've got for us, and hopefully we've got enough to just get over the line. But obviously they'll be more worried about us. We're in form. We've just reached the Champions League final, and we'll probably have momentum from that, which will push us to want to get over the line even further. But to be honest, you should want to do it anyway, because you're in this position and you don't want to mess it up. So yeah, hopefully the boys are ready. Hopefully they're locked in and they get the job done, man. But what I expect from West Ham is I probably expect them to be a little bit rigid. They'll probably go a little bit more defensive than they have done in the last few games, just because they're obviously going to look at us as the top of the league, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest threat, alongside the likes of City, etc. So they'll probably sit in a little bit more and try and just manage the game. So we're gonna need to keep that control. Don't give away anything stupid, and just take our chances as and when they come. So on that note, I'm going to get into the predicted lineup, and I'm going to give you guys what I think the lineup should be. And then we'll see how it compares to the actual lineup on the day. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to go David Raya in goal. Plain and simple, easy enough. Right back, I'm going to go Ben White. Last week, I didn't feel like he could play 3 games in a row, but now I'm starting to think that he's playing himself into form, and he's had a few days off since Tuesday, so he should be raring to go, and we'll need him if he is to be playing at the level that he was last week. So, yeah, Ben White. The centre back pairing speaks for itself. Absolutely world class pairing. Two of the best in the world, man. I love them both. Pause. But yeah, Saliba and Gabriel, absolute colossus. They barely get spoken about. Gabriel does a little bit more. I think he stands out that little bit more. But Saliba, he's just steady all the way through the season, and he's definitely not been given enough plaudits this year. So yeah, Saliba, Gabriel. Left back, I'm going to choose Hincapié. I think we need someone that's a little bit more defensive out of the two fullbacks. So I'm going to go in Hincapié on that left side. Plus, the winger that I'm going to pick on that side as well, I think has a better matchup with Hincapié in comparison to Calafiori because they don't end up covering the same spaces. But yeah, so that's my left back. In the middle, I'm going Declan Rice in the 6. The last couple games he's played there, he's not put a foot wrong. We've looked like we're more comfortable, more calm, in more control. So yeah, Declan Rice in the 6 for me. Left 8, and this is no disrespect to Zubimendi, because he's been steady this season. He's had these moments where he's kind of fallen off a little bit, if you like. I put it down to tiredness, and he's just struggling to adapt this year. But albeit it's his first year, so give him some time, and I'm sure he'll prove to be pretty decent moving forward. But yeah, so Lewis Skelly in the left 8 for me because he's not put a foot wrong in these last couple games that he's been playing in midfield, and we need to keep that momentum whilst he's got it. So yeah, Skelly in the left side. Right 8 or 10, whatever you guys call it. I'm going with Martin Odegaard. I think Odegaard needs to come back in this side and just give us that bit of control, that extra bit of control. He's very calm on the ball, very patient. We don't need to be patient in a sense of taking forever. So I hope he doesn't do that. Just fizz that ball forward, keep going forward. And if he don't do it, I'm sure Skelly will do it anyway. So yeah, I don't mind seeing Odegaard in this game in the middle. Plus, obviously, he's the captain. He's fit and ready to go. He's not going to sit on the bench forever. Forgive me. Yeah, he's not going to sit on the bench forever. So yeah, Odegaard back in for me. Right wing, I'm going with Bukayo Saka. Yeah, again, he's just been decisive. He's given us moments in the last few games, and he's scoring goals and assisting. So he's got to stay in the side. So yeah, that's straightforward. Left wing, I'm going Martinelli. I was gonna go with Eze because I feel like Eze and Odegaard in the same team is really good. But I also feel like Eze off the bench can be a bit more impactful in comparison to like Odegaard off the bench. I think Odegaard will come on and just steady the ship, whereas Eze will come on and look for the goal. So I think he becomes a bit more of an impact player, a better impact player for us in comparison. So I'd start him on the bench this weekend. Yeah, just because he started the last few as well. And yeah, I think he could do with a bit of a break. And I do like that his impact off the bench can still be pretty high in comparison to others. So I'd start him on the bench this week, and I'll play Martinelli left wing. Martinelli's going there because he's obviously been out for the last few games, not playing, barring the little odd minutes that he's got off the bench. But I think he can offer us a bit of a threat with the pace and getting behind West Ham's defence. So yeah, I'd go with Martinelli on the left, and then up front, Victor Gyökeres, Scott Pomagap. That's who I'm starting up front because he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. He's been a star performer for us the last few games, stepped up the levels, and he's starting to show signs of adaptation. I'm seeing things from him that I haven't seen all season, which I'm quite impressed by. Even if he doesn't get a goal like on Tuesday, for example, he was man of the match for me. Stood out like a sore thumb, mate. He was just amazing from start to finish. Ran his socks off, didn't stop, pressing. He 1 minute he's winning headers in our box from corners, then he's charging at the centre backs to close them down and make sure they don't get another opportunity. So yeah, all round really good game from him on Tuesday, and he's definitely got to start again. So yeah, that's the lineup for me. Now, just to close off, I'm going to give you guys my score prediction, and what I think the score is going to be is 2-0. 2-0 I'm going with. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I think we're going to just get the job done. It's not going to be nothing too exciting. Um, we'll score two, maybe a set piece because we haven't seen one of those in a while, but maybe 2 early goals, maybe, and then just shut up shop. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going with 2-0. So yeah, if you've reached this far, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay locked in. And we'll be back. I've got a Two Cannon podcast, episode 4, coming out straight after the game. We'll be doing that straight after the game and putting that out. So yeah, look out for that with my boy XB the Gunner. And yeah, love every time, people. I'm out. Peace.